What's up, my guy?
What's up, man? I got
Oh,
my
just
mic.
here.
I got my mic a little far away, so let me know if it sounds like it's far away.
You sound great. You sound great.
Okay. All
Um,
right.
yeah, you might have to watch out for me though, because I am cooking in this garage right now. It is without exaggeration. It's 400 degrees in California right now. It's fucking unreal.
Yo, it's I've been pretty pleased out here. The mornings are nice and cool. The days are starting to warm up, but we're still like in the 70s, so I'm cool with that. Also, we did like movie night with the kids last night, and so I
Uh
took the
huh.
futon. I took the futon out there to the living room so they could lay on that. So I'm sitting on the futon frame, so I'm incredibly uncomfortable because it's just a bunch of slats, and so my butt is like in between two slats. so
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, if
Dad
I
life.
like
Dad life.
pass
What
out,
was the
yeah,
movie?
Incredible too.
Mm, it's a good one.
We
It's a good one.
yeah, we didn't finish it, so we'll finish it. We'll finish it tonight, depending. I mean, I got to see how this Golden State Timberwolves game is looking. If it's no good, then we'll finish it. If it's good, then they're just gonna have to wait.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Uh, I guess that's a good intro. We'll just go ahead and talk NBA playoffs. What I don't see. I don't know. Without Steph, I don't see that series going much longer. They're trying to get to Game 6, um, so he can play. But you got playoff Jimmy. I just don't know that he can carry the team by himself past Ant and what the Wolves got.
I don't know either, man. And to me, similar. I think there's like a similar mindset that LeBron has had. Like Jimmy has been the alpha everywhere that he's gone, but he's now that he's a little older, he's been looking for someone to be the alpha, and nobody could ever take it from him. So he finally goes to Golden State, and he's like, "Cool, I am not the best player here," and he like happily admits it, and he's happy to be the number two, which I think is really what LeBron has been looking for because you saw he looked pretty comfortable um, letting Luca kind of run the show and then just kind of inject himself when he could. So Jimmy might have a game in him, especially because they're at home. Jimmy can have a good game, and then maybe a couple of the others step up. I just don't know who you look for to have step up if you're Golden State. Maybe Gary, maybe Gary Payton hits a couple threes. And then what's his name? Brandon. I don't want to butcher his last name, but
Pachitsky?
I think yeah, that guy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
maybe he can have a good game, but you're gonna need some pretty stellar games from some of the others. I think for them to even have a chance.
Yeah, I mean they they were talking about, hey, you got Jimmy, so you got a shot, and I think that's not wrong. But you look at what Jimmy did in the East with the Heat, like the team. You take Steph off the Warriors, and then compare what the Warriors are to what the Heat was when Jimmy was out there. The Heat are better, like in my opinion. You'd rather have Bam, Hero, and the pieces that they have in Miami over the Warriors. Plus, it's the East, so it's a little bit easier, I think, to get to those finals. So there's a little bit there, and you know how my take on LeBron. So this probably doesn't surprise you. I think LeBron, since he left Cleveland the first time, has been comfortable in moments as the two guy. Like he's the face of the team, but like he played best like when Kyrie was the one with the ball in his hand late. Um, Dwayne Wade he had to kind of had a Dwayne Wade kind of passed the rock there to him in Miami, but also know how I feel. My opinion on LeBron James maybe a little skewed.
Well, so I think he picks moments for sure, but in general, he was still the alpha on the team. That's why Kyrie left because LeBron was the guy. He admitted that. So yeah, I mean, it's interesting because LeBron very much so allows other people to shine because that's his style of basketball that he plays. Um, but I think there's some off the court, he tries to big brother, little brother people, and Kyrie was like, "Nah, dog, I'm not little bro." So he understood the type of talent that Kyrie had and let Kyrie take a shot. But I think he had like 50 points that game too. So don't sleep on what he did. I think he and Kyrie like both had 50. But yeah, he'll make the pass, but in general, like he carries the team, right? And I think now the fact that they got Luca, he's like, cool. I'm content giving y'all 20 and 7 as opposed to having to go out and get 30 and 11 and 9 or whatever. And I think kind of similar to Jimmy, they're showing this thing right now with the Heat. He averaged basically 25, and with Golden State, he's been averaging 18 and a half. And I think he's happy with that because he's like, Steph, go out there, get 30. I'll chip in 18, do some hustle stuff, all that. So now he's going to have to revert back to Miami Jimmy.
Yeah, I mean,
Uh,
if Jimmy wants to win a chip, oh damn, I always forget to bring the chat over. Let me get this over here. Um, but if Jimmy wants to win in Golden State, he knows he can't be the guy. Like it's got to be. Curry's got to have the magic. He's got to be the maybe one Bravo on some nights, but he's going to be number two. And yeah, we'll see how that series goes. I think Steph's got to get back. They have a chance. I don't know. He can wait till Game 6 if they want to win the series.
yeah.
But
And,
what about Celtics Knicks?
I didn't
Not
even watch
surprised.
the game.
Not
Yeah.
surprised. Celtics came in there and beat them. MSG, to be honest, um, just kind of felt that was going to happen. Kind of to look to even out that series.
It had to. No way the NBA could let the Knicks go up 3-0. Like there's I already didn't tune into this game just because they were down 2-0. So I'm really and they finally hit look, yeah, they were 20 for 40 from threes. And they've been 25 for 100 the first two games. So
Yeah,
you double your shooting percentage, especially when they're all threes. Of course you're gonna blow somebody out. But it was the same thing that I was telling you with Kentucky. Like and I know that's kind of been their Celtics calling card all year. But like when the 2 games y'all beat us, you shot 50% from three. Like I'm willing to take that bet that it doesn't happen again. So I don't know, man. The Celtics I think are in trouble if what's required for them to win is to shoot 50% from three because I think you got too much defensive energy from the Knicks. Like you don't get to just pick and pop and all that.
yeah,
Like you're gonna have to shoot 50% largely in part on some highly contested threes.
yeah. I mean, some of the stats from those first two games in Boston were wild. Like was it the third quarter? 9 of 10 field goals they took were threes. And then like you said, they go cold, and then you have two back to back games. You got a 20-point lead, and you blow them and you lose, and they both look exactly the same way. Like
Yeah,
I get it. I get it. You have a style of ball you want to play. Like Joe Mazzulla is like, this is how we're gonna play. This is how we. But at some point, you're like, hey guys, let's adjust. You got a 20-point lead. Let's just not lose it. Like you could dribble the ball out, for 23 seconds and chuck it up, and probably even if you miss, win that ball game. But yeah, the style of play at some point's got to change. And I was, at least from what I saw, JJ. You talk about the Lakers and LeBron and Luca. JJ took a lot of heat in that first series loss and how he was coaching. And maybe because Joe Mazzulla is a championship coach, he gets a pass for some of his decisions for last year. But it seemed relatively quiet on some of the heat he was taking. If you lose at home after 20 point, after having a 20-point lead, to find yourself down 2-0 in the series.
it's super lazy coaching, man. It really is. Like, nah, this is what we do, and we're not changing. Like that is your whole reason for existence as a coach is to make
Yeah.
adjustments and all that. I mean, the players don't need your schemes or whatever to just go around and chuck up threes. Literally, his
Yeah.
whole is to make adjustments. So yeah, that's lazy coaching for me. I understand they won a championship, but that's pretty unimpressive to me. I think
Yeah,
JJ's was just like him being hard headed and stubborn. Um, to me, with Missoula, this seems to be just like lazy, or maybe he actually can't do it. I don't know.
yeah, it's gonna be. I mean, you gotta it. They gotta win it this year because I don't the they're talking about how that team's not even going to look the same. They can't afford to keep to re-sign. I mean, you got even guys like Pritchard and Al Horford and some of the supplemental guys who are kind of come up on contract or gonna Horford might retire. Then you got multiple max guys with um,
Brown and
Tatum and
Tatum,
Brown.
yeah.
Yeah, and then I think Drew might be up for contract as well, or you're also paying him a shit ton of money. So that team probably
Porzingis is
looks different
probably getting
next year.
paid too.
Yeah, yeah, and that's the other thing is like I didn't watch the game today. I saw the final score. I don't know if did he get a lot of burn today? Was he able to stay on the floor? Because that has been a correlation to their losses too. Where if he can't stay on the floor and create mismatches in the post, they don't do very well.
Yeah, he's a stud. He no, I don't. Well, he played 19 minutes, so
Yeah.
which is crazy to me that Missoula wants to chuck up threes and you only play Porzingis 19 minutes because he can very much so shoot threes.
What,
So
so he came out and said they asked him like what this illness was because it's not or they classified it as sickness, and he was like, I'm not like sneezing and coughing. It's not like a cold or something. He's like, I just am like super fatigued. Like the season has beat me down. Kind of. I can't figure out why I can't like rejuvenate. And my initial thought is like, dog, suck it up, man. You making millions upon millions. Get your ass out there and play ball, dude. Like you're playing the game for a bunch of money. But I mean, I guess if you're a pro athlete, you're looking at your body a little bit. I'm like, man, come on. But yeah,
well, that
apparently
happened with Ty
that's
Jerome.
been the reason.
That happened to Ty Jerome in with Golden State, and I forgot what it ended up being, but it ended up being something pretty serious, and so he had to like take a year off of basketball, get that all squared away, and then now he's thriving with Cleveland. But I really like Porzingis, man. I've always liked him, even since he was in New York. So I hope it's not serious and he can kind of get that figured out. I'm okay with him not helping Boston win a championship, but I really like because I'm not a huge Boston fan, but I do like
Nah.
Porzingis.
Yeah. What else we got? Oh, we got last night Denver and OKC. That series being as tight as it was. I mean, to be fair, Denver stole one. In game one, they shouldn't have won that game. You make a couple free throws, and just the way that they OKC tried to foul up three, play the analytics game, but not let time get off the clock. They lose that one. But then, you got Nikola Jokic, who's best player in the league, even not playing great, averaging like 8 fucking turnovers a game. He went 0 for 10 from three yesterday, and they still get a W at home. And, it's all year long. I've been like, hey, I want Shea to get an MVP. I want him to win a championship because I think he's a slept-on player. But my time living in Denver and going to watch Jamal Murray and then play, like I find myself, still kind of rooting for the Nuggets in that series, just because that team. And then like the coach getting fired, like Malone getting fired, and like this dude coming in, they just kind of get written off. That'd be a kind of a cool story if they were able to somehow go on a run.
I would not be mad if Russell Westbrook got a championship ring. I'd be all
And
right with
and
that.
and yeah, and Russ, yeah.
I would be okay with that. Um, so if they win, because I don't think there's too much talk of Joker being like a top 10 guy. If they win another one, you start having that conversation with him.
Are you
Um,
talking about like all time, top 10 all
yeah,
time?
yeah. Like what has to happen for him? And I mean, he plays center, right? So like to eclipse some of the all time centers is that's big stuff. But like this dude is out of like he is out of control good. So and I don't think he's a top 10 guy, but like what has to happen
You,
for that to be a
you
conversation?
don't think he's a top 10 guy, even if he gets a multiple championships?
Oh no, I meant right now. So that's
Okay.
that's kind of
Yeah.
what I'm saying. Like if he leads his team right now, um, whose coach got fired, what, 4/5 of the way through the season and all that.
Yeah.
I think there's some validity to at least including his name in the discussion. Maybe he's not necessarily cemented in there, but you got to at least consider it. Don't unpin that mess. Nobody, no. Uh,
I don't know who nobody is, but I appreciate you. We talk about go big blue. Um, but yeah, I mean,
I see Emmett Smith's thing now too. Like, yeah, we probably won't for a while, man. But it doesn't change who I love.
um, yeah, I mean, he just it's a there's not a person in the league, and I can't imagine ever in the history of sports gambling where you can like it's not even a good bet to place money on a triple double on Joker. It's like it's not worth the risk because normally you're like plus 2,000-3,000 for a triple double, and then it's just natural for him. Um, but
But what? So with
yeah,
the triple doubles, like Russ averaged one for what, 2 seasons, right? He never got any kind of he never got the type of love that Joker is getting. I mean, a lot of people were saying he was stat padding and all this kind of stuff, but I don't care if you stat pad.
who you broke
Tons
up
of
for a minute.
dudes.
Who are you talking about?
Russ back in his
Oh, Russ, yeah.
OKC days.
Oh, yeah.
Like
Well, he won MVP when he averaged a triple double that year, or right? Didn't he win MVP?
he did. I'm just saying, like
Yeah,
the way that we talk about Joker, and rightfully so. I feel like everybody was like Russ is just on a historic tear, but they were only giving him credit for the right now, whereas Joker's already kind of getting the is he an all time? He was getting that kind of credit. So
yeah,
I don't know. I in no way am trying to detract from Joker. I'm blown away by that guy. I just find it's just interesting. Is it harder to average a triple double as a point guard or as a center? I guess center,
yeah.
generally speaking, because you just wouldn't expect 10 dimes a night. But
But then you wouldn't expect 10 rebounds from a point guard,
right,
you know.
right.
Um, but and the Russ Westbrook experience is it's wild. Like it has tamed down in this series, but his yeah, we talked about this before. Like his situational basketball is like it just he is all gas no brakes all the time. He's gonna the fact that he passed the ball in game one of this series so that Aaron Gordon could hit that three. I mean, especially going back to OKC, there was zero thought in my mind that he wasn't going to try to dunk on somebody and ruin that game. But he at least made the right call there. But
But
he will win.
that's now though. That's like
Yeah,
because he's still playing like he has the physical ability that he did when he was in OKC, and he's still a stud. But you're not the most athletic player in the NBA anymore, like he was 8 years ago, or whenever that was. So
yeah,
that's kind of the issue with him right now is he never developed his game the way Kobe, Mike, Dwayne Wade did because they were all insanely athletic when they were young, but then developed the skill based game. Russ's is still predicated off of athleticism that he has, but does not have like he did. And so yeah, he's still making decisions. Like his body can still do some things that it just can't quite do as often as he
yeah.
could.
And I feel that I make those same decisions from time to time, and I regret them. Now they're not at the level of as Russ, obviously, but um, But all that being said, if that corner three keeps dropping at a 40% clip like it is right now, he's going to be real dangerous for because you like
For
naturally you
sure.
want to sag off. You naturally want to sag off Russ from that 3 point line, but he's leaking out there on the wing and hitting those things. Him and Aaron Gordon, the way that they have developed their Aaron Gordon more than Russ, but the way they developed their 3 point shot because that wasn't in Aaron's bag when he was in Orlando, but it has become something that he can rely on there in Denver. Um, but
He's
yeah,
another example, right? He was crazy athletic in
yeah,
Orlando, and I mean, obviously, he changed his game to fit in with Joker, but yeah, his game in Orlando wasn't predicated off of being a spot up shooter or anything. It was jumping over people
Yeah.
and and all that. And yeah, but that's
Well, the
that's just confidence that Russ has in himself, and that's why I love him. But yeah, like you said, it's a wild ride every time with him.
yeah the list of Orlando Magic players that were once on the team and then went on to win chips other places or like do great elsewhere. I don't even want to.
Shaq. I mean, you start with Shaq, and then yeah, I guess Aaron Gordon. Um, Jameer Nelson was probably at his best with them, not when he was with Dallas,
Yeah,
but uh, same with Hito. Tracy McGrady, kind of. He didn't really have any postseason success there or in Houston. And then my boy Grant Hill can never get it right health wise. Jeff Green wasn't Jeff Green a Magic? And then
yep.
he went and
I
won a
couldn't
ring.
even. I couldn't even when Grant Hill came from Detroit to Orlando post knee injury, right? Didn't he have the knee injury and then
Ankle.
came to us ankle? Okay. Um, I couldn't even I couldn't even be happy that he was there because all I could think about was, and I don't remember watching it live, obviously, but you can't watch a postseason basketball NCAA tournament without the pass from Grant Hill to Leitner on the turnaround, knocking out Kentucky. So it's like, man, this bum, I don't even want that. And then I remember being in Orlando watching Christie's first game in Orlando, and now he's coaching out there in Sacramento. When he came out, he was busted too. He wasn't any good. But I was just thinking about old Magic players that came through, but they're going to be special. I think Orlando's going to be good here in the future. Paulo, even
I
though he's a
love
geek kid,
Paolo. I
yeah,
love Paolo.
but he is very very talented. Um, but all right, what else before we move on from the playoffs? What series am I missing?
Um, we already talked
NBA.
Minnesota. We did Boston. We did.
Oh, Pacers, Cavs,
I was gonna
Pacers,
say what's the
Cavs.
other Eastern one?
Yeah. So, most overrated player in the league had something to say in those first two games,
He
right?
he's letting people know, man. He's letting
Yeah.
people know. And you know what's interesting is remember in the Olympics, he and Tatum weren't touching the hardwood, and so everybody was like, Tatum is going to come back and wreck shop, but it hadn't been Tatum. It's
Yeah.
been Hallie, and the difference is, and Tatum did a pretty good job of handling it professionally, but you could still see that he was bothered by it and he was pouting. And
Yeah.
Halliburton looked like he was just happy to be there, but you could tell
Yeah. Posting
he,
selfies with the gold medal. He was just good with it. Yeah.
yeah, it seemed like that, but dude is clearly a competitor, and
Yeah.
he took some notes probably, and then obviously fuel gets added to the fire when all the NBA players call him overrated, which is insane to call anyone the most overrated player over Rudy Gobert. But yeah, he's letting them know. I love it for him. I think it's dope.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think there was a stat that said he's shooting like 90% on shots
Yes.
where his team it's either tie or go to lead in the last minute or something like that. That's crazy. That is
Yeah,
wild.
that's probably number one in like clutch shot percentage
Yeah.
all time. I would think, or
Oh,
at
yeah.
least in a season. So I don't know, man. I think the Cavs are in a bad way with Garland and Hunter out. I don't know how you overcome that. So it, it's unfortunate because you hardly ever get it in the playoffs, but you want guys to be at their best because you want to see best on best. Let's really find out who can overcome all this. But I think it's just going to be too much for the Cavs to try to win without those two.
Yeah, they got minutes in the last game, but it's like they're not. You can tell they're not fully healthy. But it's like the Cavs right now. How many can Donovan Mitchell string together another 3 games of dropping 40 points? Shooting 45% from the field. It's like,
But he did it, and they lost
they're
anyway. Like,
Yeah, in the first two, yeah, they fight,
uh,
but they got the W in Indy. But it's like if he's not dropping 40 plus, that team,
yeah,
I don't think they're beating Indiana right now. You got to assume Indiana gets one. I think they're playing tomorrow, so they at least get one at home, and then they're up 3-1 going back to Cleveland. Um, but yeah, the Indiana, it's again they got to the finals last year, and they were showing highlights. I saw it online, and they were talking. There was like look backs at the season last year, and you forget all you think about is Indiana getting swept by Boston last year. But three of those games they should have won. Like those first
right,
three games,
right,
Indiana was leading, and they should have won
yeah,
those games. So now that has kind of flipped. There's games that they should have lost, and they so we always talk about experience in the finals and how you need to have it, but we kind of forgot, or at least I did. Indiana has that experience, and they've clearly learned from it when their best player is playing his best at the moment. So, um,
and
uh,
that's showing with OKC and um, Denver as well.
yeah,
Because
yeah,
honestly,
exactly.
OKC should be running them out the gym, and they can't. So,
Yeah,
uh,
we'll see. Shea, I mean, he's amazing. But in the playoffs, if you can scheme against him and just don't allow him, because if he's getting to the elbow or getting a 12 to 15 foot jump shot, thing's going in. But if you make him play extended, that's where his game is a little bit weak.
yeah,
And I was surprised there were some plays like the one to end the game last time where he's got Braun on him, or Brown, I'm sorry, from Denver, and
oh,
that's
the
a
kid from
matchup he should win.
Kansas, dude from
Yeah,
Kansas.
that's that's a matchup he should win, or at least create leverage to pass out of it, get himself open shot. And I mean, he didn't get a good look. He got a contested look. I thought when they switched Brown on him, I was like, oh, this game's over. So um, he needs that kind of, I think, key moment in the playoffs to kind of get him over that hump too. Um, but
All right,
I'm not going to be these lower markets, quote unquote lower markets like Indiana, OKC, Denver, uh, Minnesota. To me, I like these teams being good and getting some run, and we're having some you know um, playoff runs or playoff or final potentials that aren't like your run of the mill big market teams. I guess the Knicks kind of they play that, but that's because they're a massive market, and Celtics are. But I don't know that either one of those teams can beat Cleveland or Indiana right now.
yeah. I mean, the Knicks more than Boston right now. I would trust or count on to make it tough because they just the mentality, that Villanova mentality that Bridges and Josh Hart come with. Um, and Jalen Brunson is not Luca on defense, at least. He's certainly not a defensive
Yeah,
stalwart, but he'll at least try some. And then Mitchell Robinson and stuff. So I like their makeup, and I don't think you can ever just count them out. Boston, I don't know what's going on. I'm just not a fan of the chucking up threes, man. I'm really not. And it's very frustrating to me to see all the handle that Tatum has. Like he can do all this fancy stuff, and it's all just to do a step back and shoot a three. Like I can't
yeah,
stand that. So I want them to lose because I want that to discourage the rest of the NBA. Like, let's start putting some creativity back in the offense. You know what I'm saying? Give people a chance to work, not just, hey, go do an ISO, get yourself a step back, make a tough three. So
yeah. And
um,
and 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 people will look at, like, I think there's a conversation where it's like Steph changed the game, and then it's like, well, this, like, the way they brought the 3 point, and the Steph and Golden State kind of started this thing. But if you watch the way they run their offense and how Steph is running around and trying to create space, and what it's completely, in my mind, it's not ISO ball running around. It's like, no, we're running sets to get somebody open. It's not your just spread the floor ISO. The old school Cal. Drive and dish type stuff, or just ISO step back three. That's more of James Harden type ball that
100%
really
James Harden
make,
ball.
yeah. James Harden did that, and then you get into the foul baiting type stuff. But it is what it is.
Yeah, that Steph changed it in that people value threes more. James Harden completely, like, all offense in the NBA is James Harden offense from what he was doing in Houston. I mean,
Yeah.
you can hardly find a team that doesn't just try to, like you said, just penetrate and kick, or just do a step back. Kobe called that mess accidental basketball. He was like in a triangle, like it was very deliberate. Kobe was like, "This mess is accidental because you penetrate and then you kick, maybe depending on what might happen. Like you don't have a plan, you don't go in knowing, and you obviously need to be able to be reactionary somewhat. But he's like, there's just no intention with anything. You just kind of going out there and seeing what happened, what happens. Like Booker, that's why I love Booker, even though he's a Kentucky guy, because he's very intentional about it. Like him and Kawhi, like they know where their spots are. They get to their spot and they're gonna shoot it. But largely in part, folks aren't like that. It's just like, oh, let's just kind of see what happens and then react the right way off of it.
Yeah. This is way off topic, but man, I feel like Book's got to get out of Phoenix if he wants to be like great, you know, um, or they just got to build around him and quit because I don't think KD is there next year. Uh, where he goes, I don't know. The Brandon Beal experiment did not work.
Well,
Um,
I could have told you that
or
beforehand.
Bradley Beal, sorry, yeah,
Yeah, I mean, and they've tried to build around him, right? They've made terrible decisions, um, like drafting DeAndre Ayton first. I I'm not prepared to say that's terrible. It didn't work out really, but you already got a shooting guard, so it makes sense to go for a premier big man. You put somebody else who can take a little bit of pressure off of Book, a lot of pressure off of Book with KD. But James Jones just turned out to be a terrible GM, man. He could not build a team with depth. And I mean, anybody should have known not to invest that much in Bradley Beal. Like, I mean that.
yeah,
So like they've tried, they just haven't been good at it. But I'm with you. Phoenix is not the place to be right now to be successful. Um, I think they're strapped with cash because of the Beal contract. So you're still going to be limited. They did fire James Jones or demoted him. They didn't fire him because I guess he's probably well respected in the organization, but he's not the GM anymore. So maybe somebody can start making some good decisions. But you're probably strapped for 2-3 more years. So I don't know how long Book is under contract for, but I'd love to see him get up out of there too, because he he is one that I like, even though he went to Kentucky. I like him. I really really like him because he's so skilled. Like he's a
yeah.
good athlete, but he's not a stellar athlete compared to NBA guys. But nobody can do anything with him just because of how skilled he is. And I really appreciate that because that lets me know that he really works at the game.
Yeah,
So
and that's what I like. Jamal Murray, right? It's same kind of thing. Not super
yeah,
super athletic, very skilled, 3 level score. You watch some of the things that Jamal does with the basketball, and a different position. They but yeah, two Kentucky guys who I continue to root for. All right, well we got the NBA. Have you paid attention at all to the combine stuff going on right now? You all had one player. I didn't know if you watched how
Chaz.
Chaz has done.
Yeah. No, not at all. The honestly, the only thing I've heard about any kind of UT anything was the guy from the shooting guard from oh shoot, he committed to TAMU, I think, and then he decommitted, and so now Tennessee's trying to get at him, which would be great because we need a shooting guard. I don't know how good he is, but that's about the only Tennessee. And I didn't even realize the combine was going on. Let me see if there's anything to
Well,
talk
so
about.
they just started like individual workouts, I think, and the invitation. I saw Ortega was shooting. He was with the Celtics, the Blazers, Phoenix, maybe. Who the hell was that? So he's been doing some workouts as well. There was a video that was going out of him just taking some shots for the Blazers. He was out there four threes in a row, and I was like, jump shot doesn't look broken
Yes.
to me. Of course, it
Yes.
does.
Let's
It
get him
does have
going.
no. I don't want to. I don't want to talk about it, but I mean, it's clearly a crossbody. There is a hitch, but I started, doing some digging because I'm like, there's been some ugly ass jump shots in the league. Dudes who get drafted, slow releases, shot put from the chest, and I think about and then I went, and I was like, my favorite player in Kentucky history is Michael Kidd Gilchrist. That was one of the ugliest jump shots ever, ever, ever. But it went in, and he was drafted number 2. But so it's like
Yeah,
I don't know.
Sean Marion, Lonzo
Oh
Ball.
yeah, yeah.
Sean Marion, the Matrix, man, his was crazy. Lonzo Ball, they obviously adjusted his because his needed it, but Tricks, they just left his alone, and he was pretty he got to be pretty consistent. Emmitt Smith, that is not true at all. And as recent SEC, both regular season and tournament champions in the last couple of years, just take note of that, please. And thank you.
Hey, well, something you're supposed to be caring about, which I don't think you do. I know I only really postseason or when we get towards the end of the season for baseball. It's Tennessee baseball falling apart, man. Tony V is got some folks worried.
The boys aren't playing. No, you don't blame Tony. Yeah, they've been a little nervous on it on the radio talking about it. They're like, man, we got to get this. They got to get this ship righted. So I don't know what's going on with them, but they are still defending champs. I guess y'all wouldn't know anything about that in Kentucky, would you, Emmitt Smith? So there's championship experience to draw on there, and hopefully they can get it right. But yeah, they've been struggling, man. I don't know what's going on. I don't know enough about baseball, but yeah, they're struggling.
Nah, I know that the postseason baseball last year, Kentucky getting to the first ever college world program history, college World Series. That was fun. We got bounced pretty early. But that was fun watching baseball. But I got Pat McAfee on my TV right now on Backlash, shirtless, getting his ass kicked by Gunther.
I'm watching the Warriors and Timberwolves starting. We forgot to mention Buddy Hield. Buddy certainly could step up and do some big things.
Yeah, but that was my I was going back and forth in my calculus of okay, Jimmy's got these guys, but Jimmy had Tyler Hero, and I mean Kentucky bias, but Tyler Hero better than Buddy Hield. Yes or no?
Probably today.
You don't like Tyler Hero, so I can't.
I don't like Tyler Hero, but I don't ever front when folks can hoop. Like he could play.
Yeah,
I think he's probably got a little more dynamism to his game, right? Like Buddy's because Hero he'll kind of be a 3-level guy, maybe 2-level guy. Buddy kind of just trying to stay on the outside and shoot. So
yeah.
Hey,
Buddy had some big
Jimmy
games, but the horse memes about Buddy Hield got to stop. Leave this man alone. He can't help it.
I've liked him since he was at Oklahoma, man. I've always hated it. I feel like he's been disrespected in the league, but he can hoop.
He can't hoop.
They be getting on him.
Yeah, the voice and just it doesn't match what you the NBA player, but
he's from the Bahamas, man.
Shoot, I don't even know how we even got on that tangent, but
just because I'm watching the game and I brought him up.
Oh, okay. So Bam or Draymond?
I would take Bam. I think it depends on what you need, but Bam gives you a ton defensively, and he gives you a whole lot more offensively than Draymond does. But you have seen through history, like Golden State falls apart when Draymond is not out there playing with them. So I don't think his non box score things that he brings should be understated. But yeah, if I just have to pick who I want on my team between him and Bam right now, I want Bam.
Yeah, and that, I mean, and maybe I underappreciate him as a player, but I don't understand the Draymond Green when he's not on the floor drop off that Gold State has. Like, I get it, he's a glue guy, whatever, but he just brings so much drama to the, like, you could see Steph like get frustrated with him, or at least it appears like he's getting frustrated. And I don't he can't shoot anymore. He's not athletic anymore. Yeah, he can play. He can step up and play defense on possessions, but he seems to be more a liability. But you're right, when he just suffers like in ways of basketball that I don't understand. When he's not on the floor, it just the shit doesn't flow for the team like it does when he is on the floor.
You can see his IQ when he plays. And so getting people where they're supposed to be, particularly defensively, like you can see him barking out calls, hey, get these rotations, all that kind of stuff. So he just helps things flow more just through his communication only. And I think that's the big difference. So when he's out there, young guys make the wrong cuts, the wrong reads, don't rotate the right way, not playing defense on the string, just it's like simple stuff, but like team defense, which I don't understand why they're so terrible at it in the NBA. Like we used to do that in high school all the time, literally just be on a string, rotate, and all that. But they're terrible at it in the NBA, and I think he does a really good job of like keeping guys in position, fixing rotations, all that kind of stuff, and so that all kind of falls off. And then also, I mean, he knows with Steph in particular he knows how and where Steph is going to move better than anybody else does. And, he probably accounts for, I don't know, 7 to 10 points a night for Steph, like that someone else would not have gotten him because the pass would have been a little off, different location, timing, that kind of stuff. So, yeah, I think it's that,
Yeah,
that chemistry with Steph and then just that knowledge and communication of getting people where they need to go. All that being said, I can't stand Draymond. He gets on my nerves because of all that drama. But I can appreciate like the basketball mind that he is.
yeah, that's a good point. Like that hockey assist type thing, where he just the ball hits his hand, go to somebody and he can get it to somebody who's open.
Yeah.
Mainly being Steph, but nobody. There is a button I can put you in timeout. Come on, man. We can't. You can talk some nonsense
Yeah.
on Tennessee, but there's a limit. I can't even put it out there. But Yep. All right. Well, before we close this thing out, so we've been looking at some non-conference basketball schedules are coming out. I looked at Tennessee. I haven't seen anything that you all put out, at least not on Twitter. Have you seen the non-conference basketball schedule for 2025?
No, and I haven't even heard them talk about that on the radio or anything yet either.
Not, like I said, I haven't seen anything.
Yeah.
Kentucky and Louisville have both been putting some stuff out. There was the Kentucky St. John's matchup, which is going to be in the Classic, taking over for UCLA. We'll talk
So
about that. Rick Pitino,
where is that going to be?
Catlanta. So it definitely be a home game for us.
Really? It's interesting.
Yeah.
And so they're going to come all the way down from there to play in Atlanta.
What was that?
You said they're coming all the way down from St. John's to play y'all in Atlanta.
Yeah. Yeah. That game's going to be in Atlanta. And then we have the Indiana series opens up this year again. That's going to be in Rupp, or is that in Nashville? No, that's in Rupp. We play Zaga in Nashville this year, and then we also have. The other thing we got to wait for Alex to dive into this when he's back on. the Louisville game being November 11th this year, like early in the season on a Tuesday, I don't understand this. It like legit, like it's still going to be a great rivalry, but it's so stupid that it's on a Tuesday.
Yeah, I think that's a swing and a miss. You want as many people available to tune in for that one as possible, and doing it on a Tuesday just clearly limits that. I wouldn't be with that at all. But that's why I was messing with you. I hope your birthday ball is on that day, but I really don't.
Yeah,
But it's funny. It's funny to say.
but it's yeah. I mean the I hopefully things are already closed down November 11th anyways for it being Veterans Day because the whole state's going to shut down. Like nothing's happened on that Tuesday at all. So if you need any sort of service, it doesn't matter if you need your car done, if you need oil change or dry cleaning or don't even go to McDonald's because your shit ain't going to get done. The whole state's going to be shut down to watch the game. I don't like it being on a Tuesday because it does bring national attention when it's on a Saturday around Christmas. It's the focus. And then I have my own traditions that uh, that have been ruined as because it keeps getting further and further to the left. Early December or now in November. That sucks. But I
Yeah,
think
that's
I've
a
been told it's because of like TV contracts and in these uh, not tournaments, but these big like CBS Classic and those sort of things, ACC, SEC Challenge, like they went out when it comes to ESPN or TNT or who's paying for the games. They want to see these non-conference big time program games, and the rivalry stuff isn't really pulling to them, I guess.
That's insane. I like if I'm CBS or whoever, I want Duke and UNC. I definitely want Kentucky. If we're talking, I'm just talking rivalries, not necessarily out of conference, but
Yeah,
Duke UNC. I would want Louisville, Kentucky. I would want Kentucky, Tennessee, um, and then whatever like Big East. I'm sure there's a huge. Nobody cares about the Big East anymore. Really, really, those three, those three are like
yeah,
ones that I would really want. UNC, Duke, Kentucky, Louisville, and Kentucky, Tennessee. I don't see how you don't think you're going to get numbers broadcasting that
yeah.
on them.
Well, it's like I get 'cause then there's some stuff out there like like you said, you could argue that Duke UNC is the greatest rivalry in college basketball.
I
You
think
can
it
get
is.
away with having a game. You can get away with having one of their games on a Tuesday. They play twice a year, anyways. There's a home
Agreed.
road split built in every year. For us, it's the same way. Tennessee, Kentucky, it's a home road split every year. You ain't getting that with Louisville. Like where it's a different conference. You get the only reason why that game is being played is because it's an in-state hatred, right? And you could argue there's reasons for Kentucky to drop that until Louisville proves that they're worthy of playing, and it's not like just a detrimental loss. In the reason why Cal dropped the Indiana series, it's just like they suck so bad it wasn't worth going to Indiana and losing a game and tanking your rankings and
Yeah,
getting a lower quad. Um, but
that it could only hurt you guys. Can't help you,
yeah,
but can
yeah,
only hurt you. Yeah, I got you.
yeah. But it's still got to be on a Saturday, right? It's you want to see that one where you can get all the eyes on it. But hey, we'll see. Maybe it being a holiday game, it'll bring some attention, and there'll still be a lot of viewers, and we're just bitching for no reason. But up front, I
I'm,
don't like it.
yeah, I mean, I've always appreciated that rivalry, but then obviously I'm slightly more vested now just because of y'all. I want to know what's going to happen with it and whatnot. So yeah, I'll definitely be tuning into that one.
Well, I mean, it was convenient that we started this show, and you had the opportunity of smacking Louisville early in the year.
Yeah, that worked out. I guess it just stinks because I don't care about Louisville, so I was just
Yeah,
like, cool. It's good to mess with Black, but other than that, I was just like, all right, cool, another win. But the wins against Kentucky obviously are far more satisfying.
yep. Well, 2-1 this year, so losing record. Hopefully, that's not satisfying.
It's pretty satisfying because we ended your season and we won in the postseason. So again, I will take that every single time. I will take
Yeah,
it
yeah.
every time.
Well, we'll see. Hopefully, you guys will be able to field the full roster. If
we
not,
only we only got
uh,
one scholarship left, so
nah,
we
I know I haven't really been paying attention. Um, we'll have to get into it. Like I said, I don't want the conversation is less fun when Alex isn't here for me to pick on him. But um, the uh, the way Cardinals fans are talking about their current team, especially like they can't talk about Cardinals basketball without mentioning Kentucky basketball. That's
sure.
kind of how it goes for little bro. Um, but you look at them individually, like one-on-one matchup of what Kentucky has athletically and how talented they are. It's the only benefit y'all got is us going to Yum this year, and it's still just going to be another disappointment of we'll travel north and y'all still get your ass kicked.
You typical
Evan,
Kentucky
Evan, we
fan.
got to get a new argument. Yeah, we
Yeah,
got to get a new
don't.
argument, Evan.
I mean, it is a correct one, but yeah, it's the
Yeah,
same one, and it's old. Um, so I don't know
yeah,
who has been better the last 10 years. It's the disparity is not there like it used to be. It's pretty close. So
yeah, yeah. No, you're you're
that's
you're uh, you're right. And if we're being like very very honest, um, the climb for Tennessee. So like Tennessee football, exponentially better than Kentucky football. Kentucky basketball has been exponentially better than Tennessee basketball in history. But the climb that Rick Barnes has made for the basketball program compared to what Stoops has made for the football program, that's what we need to start leveling out. Let's have it be like a good rivalry on both sides of or both sports, and not just where we are confident we can beat the orange in basketball, but we know that when we travel um, to Knoxville or y'all come to Kroger, it's like we're just praying for a win, not expecting one.
yeah. So that's all. Just worry about being a little more well rounded there, Emmett. Um,
Yeah.
then you'll have more of a leg to stand on. But you're right.
That being said,
Basketball.
this is the year. This is the year.
might as well be.
Uh,
Let's do it while we're still undefeated.
I'm just kidding. Yeah, yeah.
But cool,
Evan just
man.
texted me. He said, "I hate Tennessee. Hate being in all caps."
Yeah, that's fine. I mean
uh,
that hate
yeah,
is
man. No,
returned.
in
So
all seriousness, yeah, I have zero faith in this football team. Um, and I shouldn't say that. I think the players we got are good. I'm Stoops burnt out at this moment. I'm Bush Hamden burnt out. I just don't know what they're gonna do. And you look at the schedule we have compared to the team we have, and if you compare it to what with the talent on the team from last year, if you're just going off of talent, oh my goodness, like we could have a repeat 4 or 5 win season this year, um, which is embarrassing. If that's the case, we were looking at a new head ball coach, I think. But
you are because
um,
yeah, you're right. He plateaued, right? Because he had you on the top 25 a couple times, right? But then couldn't really capitalize on that with who he was bringing in, and then yeah, so now folks have decided to take their talents elsewhere, and obviously, all the money coming in makes a difference too. But he had a window, but honestly, though, I'm pretty nervous about what Tennessee's going to be looking like. I certainly don't expect a 9-win season out of us. I think
we
we're
both got
probably
questions at QB.
yeah. I think we're probably looking at shoot, man. I got questions at QB and running back. Now I like who we got, coming in because they were getting to tote the rock last season too, and they look good. But you're not Dylan Sampson, right? So it's different when we're probably gonna do a running back by committee thing like we did with Jalen Wright and Jabari Small, and then Dylan Sampson was the third guy with that little with that duo. So we're probably going to do something like that with Peyton Lewis and Deshaun Bishop, and then we got the running back transfer from Duke. So yeah, I'm a little concerned about that. And we lost our center, so and our receiver room is a little weak. So I got concerns about the offense
Yeah,
for sure. But
yeah,
I know
we
we'll
shall
get to all
see.
that.
Oh yeah, yeah, and I mean, uh, it being Stoops arguably last year here. I think even if he does great this year, like I just don't see it. If he gets the 10-2, like a miracle 10-2 season, he rides off into the sunset. If he goes 6-6 in a bowl game, it's like, all right, man, you know, you, it's time just to move on. Maybe I don't
Yeah,
know. He
yeah.
retires or whatever. Just like if he goes, 3 and was it 3-9? Like his ass paid him the buyout, and it's time to go, my guy. Bye. Peace. Like
Would they
we're gonna see
fire
what you.
him in season? Could it go bad
No,
enough for them to fire him in season?
I don't think so. It's too.
Okay.
I think it's too much money. I think it's too much money, and I don't know. Unless they really thought that they wanted to like do some sort of interview, like in season interview for Big Dog, and give him a chance to like run the team because he's been like we're gonna get Vince Morrow's been talked about like, hey, he's gonna get sniped up for this head coaching job or go here, go there. So if they really thought he could be a head coach because he's a great recruiter, then maybe you give him a chance in season. But in my mind, he's too old. I don't think he's can be a head coach in today's game. So I don't think it gets that bad where you fire Stoops in season. Plus, to be very honest with you, I think that would be a bad look. He's the best coach in Kentucky football history. So yes, he can have two bad seasons back to back and deserve to be fired, but don't embarrass him. Like let's get
Sure.
out there, let's figure his buyout, and then we move on from there. And then yeah, like Emmett Smith is saying, like John Summerall out there in Tulane, former Kentucky linebacker. Like I think Emmett, was he an assistant coach at Kentucky before he went to Tulane? Or did he? I think he had to stop at Kentucky on the coaching staff. Um, so yeah, you have. There's people out there who are on the come up who you could bring up and hire who could do well. Um,
I didn't know who
and
that dude was, but I know Tulane has been good lately, so that probably be a pretty good pickup.
yeah, and that's who. Okay, Emmett's saying yes. And on the coaching staff. So yeah, and that's who BBN was getting real loud about this year, like because the QB on their squad was good. He was in the transfer portal. Ended up going to Duke, right? And
Yeah,
so
yeah.
like yeah, so like get the coach, get the quarterback. Let's go. Let's make a run at this thing. But I mean, the answer is 44 M's. Like I think his Stoops
Whew.
buyout right now that was $44 million. So the
Good,
only way you're getting
good
around
on
that
his
was
agent.
finding, yeah, you don't only only way of getting around that is finding a team who wants Stoops to come take over. Which while I was on the big like West Virginia push, like hey, send his ass to West Virginia. Like that's old. Like he's from Ohio. It's close. It's like old gritty football. Get his ass to West Virginia. We can bring in this new coach. But that didn't that didn't happen. But yeah, we'll have plenty of time to talk about football as we get through. Spring portal still open, so folks are still moving in and out, which is kind of wild. I'll close it out with saying apparently I think her name is Laura Dinich. Laura Dinich for ESPN. Know her last name.
Heather,
You know what I'm talking
Heather,
about? Heather
Heather
Dinich. Heather
Dinich.
Dinich.
Yeah.
Um, she was talking about how in the NCAA meetings or whatever, or the coaches meetings or however it was going, the big talk was like, we got to figure out the transfer portal thing. One, can't be happening during the college football playoff. Just can't be happening. And two, we got to reduce it to one portal window after the playoff. Give a 10-day window, and then get them enough time to get into spring classes, and then it's closed. Like you are where you are, my guy. If you get there and you don't start, or no more of coaches being scared to even have a spring game because another school is going to snipe them off the team because they're a backup or something, and offer them some NIL deals. So that hopefully it works. That is positive news if it's if it's something that actually going to change.
Yeah, yeah, and that was what I was saying. Like, the window has to coincide so these cats can get to school in time because theoretically, they're still trying to get degrees and all that. So you do want to allow that. But yeah, if that can get tamed a little bit, I think that'd be good. Did you see that Saban and Tuberville and Trump had like a little discussion and like they were going to try
Yeah,
to
I saw
get
it. Yeah,
involved? I'm
yeah.
like, stop it, man, stop it. Leave it to the people who need to be figuring this out. But yeah, I would certainly like to see some controls put in place. As always, I still advocate for these guys to get paid, but yeah, it still has to get under control.
Yeah, exactly. NIL is good. Getting paid for who you are and how talented you are is great. The pay to play, and like I'm gonna pay you to come off this roster even though you didn't get a single snap, or you commit to one school and then you decommit because another check is gonna be bigger. That shit's got to stop. It's like
Yeah.
these are grown. You're a grown ass man, or you're grown folk. If you're playing in a women's league or whatever, you sign a contract. You owe that contract, whether it's a year, multi-year, whatever it is. Just like anything else. Yeah, there should be caveats to it. If your coach leaves, something changes, blah, blah, blah. But for the most part, you sign the deal, you own the deal type thing.
Nah, that's
Oh, Amor's injury. Yeah, George Amor. She blew out her ACL.
the girl
Yeah,
hooper, right? Yeah,
yeah,
she could hoop.
yeah. She can't hoop, but she unfortunately blew out her ACL, so she's not gonna. She'll miss her rookie season this year, which is wild. It is wild. I was thinking about this, and when she got injured, the female season is crazy. Like, I mean, it was Final Four draft.
Yes.
You're right into it, man. Like they are playing, and a lot of these women are playing overseas too because the paycheck in WNBA ain't what it's like. So there's a lot of miles on these women players, man.
Yeah, that's what happened with Caitlin Clark, right? She lost the national championship and then got drafted like the week later, and then was playing
Yeah,
like two weeks later after their 2 week camp. And it's the same will be with like Paige Beckers and stuff.
yeah,
So yeah, theirs is insane. But my assumption is that it goes that way to time it so that they can go play overseas, and catch the
yeah,
overseas seasons as well. So I do like their little. I've not watched it, but I like that league, Undisputed. I forgot what it's called, but that league that they have here that they own and it's paying them more and all that. So now you kind of have options: sign a contract with that league on top of the WNBA, or go play overseas. But now you're not forced to go play overseas. Like they didn't have a
right.
choice before. So I do like that for them that they're starting to get more options. But yeah, never want to see anybody get injured. Luckily, ACL injuries aren't as catastrophic now as they were. Like you blow out an ACL, you might as well kiss your career goodbye. Back in the day, surgeries are good now. Rehab is great now and all that. So hope she has a good recovery and can come back. Maybe she can even catch a overseas season or something.
Yeah, I did see there was a meme that said the ACLs was put into your body just to tear, and it was like bitch ass ligament.
Yeah. Yeah, always. Everybody's always tearing a bad boy.
Yeah. It's like, what is it in your body for other than just the tear? You never hear any good things about ACLs. It's like, hey, my ACL is doing real good today. No, it just tears. But all right, man. Well, I have sweat out at least 10 pounds in this fucking garage today.
Cool.
It is cooking here, and John Cena and Randy Orton are getting ready to fight in Backlash. So I'm gonna go watch that with the family. Which is crazy because they started like 25 years ago. So this is like old school wrestling. These old guys potentially going to blow out an ACL in the ring today. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah. Probably. We'll see what these ligaments do.
Yeah. So, all right, man. It was good chatting with you, man. I'll talk to you next week.
Emmett, I hope you trip and fall in front of somebody and they laugh at you.
Go Cats. Peace.